Hello and welcome back to another edition of Guitar Basics. I'm Dave Caruso. Today we're going to learn a song called Wonderful Tonight. We're going to use the same four chords we've been using through the whole series. This is the G, E minor, C, D series that we're doing right now. So there's a whole bunch of songs we can do with those chords, and that makes it easier to learn more songs without having to learn a lot of new chords. The new strum, we've talked about counting out loud. Counting out loud divides each measure up into different beats. But we want to count the in-between beats, which are the ands. So when there are 4 quarter notes, there are 8 eighth notes. We count the 4 quarter notes as 1, 2, 3, 4, and the eighth notes fall on those numbers, but also in between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and those correspond to our down and up strums. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're strumming the actual strings, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, even when we're not strumming, coming in contact with the strings, when we're missing the strings, we're still counting that way. So in this case, we're going to strum on 1, the and of 2, and 3. So let's do it slowly. I'll show you what I mean. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's how it would be strummed. We could do a little bit faster. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The strum doesn't change for the whole song, but there's going to be one measure where we just strum one time and let it ring. And that's nice for a change-up because nobody really uses the exact same strum for an entire song. There's always little variations. That keeps it from being redundant, repetitive, boring, whatever. So on this song, we're going to start with the first line, which is the introduction. And the introduction is played twice. And we use G, D, C, and D. I'll call them out. We'll count together. We'll play the intro. We'll treat it like a separate thing right now. Let's give it a try, nice and slow. 1 and 2 and ready, play. G. 1 and 2 and 3. D. 1 and 2 and 3. C. 1 and 2 and 3 and D. 1 and 2 and 3 and repeat. G. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Something that's good to know when you want to be a pro at how you strum, there's a couple things. One is that when you're strumming down, that's the main part of the strum. When you're strumming up, that should be usually lighter, as long as we're not syncopating. It's going to be a simple, light touch. So on the way down, hit all the strings that are appropriate for the chord. In the case of a G chord, you're going to hit the lowest string all the way to the highest string. But when you do your up strum, you don't have to cover all the strings. You can just kind of catch the highest strings as you go. So watch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Hear how that sounds? That's more musical than making everything the same volume and giving it all the same stress. So the up strums in general, you're going to do softer and just clip the top couple strings, the highest couple strings. Another thing is you want to make sure you're slanting your pick. If you're not slanting your pick, you're kind of raking the strings. You don't want that. You want to brush the strings. So right now when I'm going downward, I'm letting the pick point upward. The tip of the pick is up. And when I'm strumming up, the tip of the pick is down. In order to do that, you need to rotate your wrist. You see my wrist turning? And the best way to do that is to put a mirror, a small square mirror, on your music stand next to your music. And you can just look right at your right hand as you play. If you're looking at your left hand, you don't know your chords well enough. You shouldn't be staring at your left hand once you know the chords well. So let's do the verse right now. I'm going to count it off. 1 and 2 and ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and C. 1 and 2 and 3 and D. 1 and 2 and 3 back to G. 1 and 2 and 3 and D. 1 and 2 and 3 and C. 1 and 2 and 3 and D. 1 and 2 and 3. And the next part is C. And then D. 2 and 3 and G. E minor's next. And here comes C. 2 and 3. And here comes D. Now we're going to return to the intro. Da 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 da. 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 Da da da. Good. Let's do a verse with the words. I'm going to sing the words this time, and you can strum along, so I won't be saying as much musical instruction, okay? 1, 2, ready, verse. It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup and brushes her long blonde hair. See? And then she asks me, do I look alright? And I say, yeah, you look wonderful tonight. Da 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 da. Back to the intro. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Okay. Now you're ready for the bridge. The bridge is 8 measures long. Starts with a C. And when you're done with it, you go right to the intro again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes and the wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I love you. Da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da. So spend a little bit of time learning that and getting comfortable with it. And then you can learn to play the song in the right order with all the verses and intros and choruses. And once that's done, you can go to my Spotify, click on Spotify, Guitar Basics, G, E minor, C, and D. You'll find Wonderful Tonight in that playlist, and you can strum right along with the record using your music. I've attached the music to this video. If you look at the description of the video, you can download the entire page. Hope you enjoyed this. Got some more music coming up for you in the next video, and I'll see you then.